Well,
Yeah. Don't tell them what to do. Don't you scare the audience. That's what she said.
Okay, today I'm going to talk about a topic that most of you probably don't know nothing about, but first I'm going to talk about, most people don't understand that farming is one of the most important things that, we rely on as far as a natural source. Most people think it's gas or natural gas or anything like that, but it's overall, it's farming. It has an effect on every part of our lives and the way we do things. People don't really realize how much it affects us. And the thing I'm going to talk about today that's is currently affecting it and in the future is going to be real bad on it is Palmer amaranth. And it's a invasive weed that is slowly taking away a lot of yields from all the crops around America. And it's something that you're probably going to hear more about in the future. That's what I'm going to be covering today. And I chose this topic because it's kind of relevant to my job field and where I work at. And I'm also done a little bit of research on it. And that's what I'm going to tell you about that. What I'll be talking about today is I'm going to prove my facts with various research results I've looked up on the internet and kind of my first-hand knowledge of looking at it. Second topic I'll cover, I will kind of show you talk about the effects this has on it, about the yield loss and this and that. And overall, I'll just tell you the basic anatomy of the plant and how quick it reproduces and how easy it grows everywhere. All right. Palmer amaranth is a common species of weed. It's been around for quite some time, but it's only been a major problem in the past decade. And it's been around for a long time, though. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, this species is now prevalent in 31 states and growing. And Palmer amaranth also has 45 other species in its family. It's also in these 31 states. So it's not just that. And commonly, Palmer amaranth around here, most people will call it pigweed. That's what its common name is. Even though pigweed is actually the name for the entire family, but that's what it gets its name of because it's known more than the rest of them. Another thing, Palmer amaranth, first before it was an invasive weed, a long time ago, it was used by the American Indians as food. They foraged on the leaves. All right. I will now talk about how the species can greatly affect crops. This species has become such a problem because of how quickly it can reproduce. The University of Georgia conducted a study that's did a trial of some pigweed or Palmer amaranth in a field with some soybeans. And with the competitiveness of soybeans and other crops out there, a female Palmer amaranth produced 460,000 seeds in one plant. So one plant can produce that many seeds. And in a perfect situation where there's not much competition, they've been said to have 1 million seeds in one plant. And they can reproduce quickly. The germination being less than 2 weeks, they'll be up. And also, Palmer amaranth has an extremely strong root system, so they can grow pretty much in any kind of environment and stand drought longer than any kind of crop can. So they don't have to have much water at all to sustain life and very little nutrients. And the species become a true problem when it started becoming resistant to Roundup or phosphate. And that is mainly the herbicide that is used to clean up the fields because most crops now are tolerant to that kind of herbicide. And now that Palmer amaranth has built up resistance, it's hard to take it out of it and clean it up. And we believe that it acquired this resistance from the crops having it and it got it from them. The one true weakness of the plant is that its seed life is not very long once it's in the ground. After about 12 months, only half the seeds remain alive, which isn't really a big deal in 12 months, but you take 6 months, only about 80% of them's alive. So with that cutback, it does help some, but it's still a pretty invasive species. All right, next I will talk about some proven data that has been tried in some failed management practices. Research has showed that just one plant can affect yields in my field. Take just one plant and can greatly affect your yields. The Marshall Democrat News posted an article that included studies that showed the yield loss caused by Palmer amaranth, just one Palmer amaranth in 80 feet of row of soybeans caused 17% loss of yield. And that's just one plant in that bundle. One plant in 60 feet of row soybean knocked the yield down by 27%, which is an incredibly large number and counts in a lot as far as the factors overall. With one plant showing that it can cause a fairly large effect, the plant ability to reproduce, it can become very troublesome. And the economic toll that these results can cause are quite large because of how everything swings on the production of these various crops. And when you talk about having a bunch of pigweed out there and it's unable to kill them, and the yields get cut back down, that slowly cuts on cost and feed. Feed goes to the cows, people eat the cows, cost to people. Ethanol's in gas, corn, ethanol, cost to people. And some of the management practices it can be controlled when they're about 2 inches tall. Mississippi State did a survey that they are easily killed at 2 inches tall, but pigweed's been on record as growing as fast as 8 inches in 24 hours. And that's why they're pretty invasive. Bottom line is these weeds have the ability to take money out of everyone's pocket, and that is something we cannot put at risk. Now, I hope you understand the strong effect Palmer amaranth can have on the economy. All right. In conclusion, Palmer amaranth clearly has a harmful effect on the nation's crops, and as a result, all the American people as well. I hope now all of you understand the problems that this invasive species can cause, and if you hear about it, you kind of know something what's up, and I figure in the future you will hear more about it. And in closing, this problem will probably ultimately affect all of us down the road, and I'm sure it will because of the costs that may go up, but it can be contained with a good management plan in the end. That's all.
Where can we get some herbicide to control this?
Hell in the chemical.
Are you